Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast. The podcast reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 683, and it is your review of the Magnificent Ambersons. As always, is there you're going to hear the host of the show, along with my wonderful co-host Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful Monday Memorial Day
What
evening.
the fuck was that? On the more day.
Monday Memorial Day.
Okay.
Monday
Yeah.
Memorial Day. I just put it all into one word.
Monday.
Sorry, I am laughing my ass off right now because hopefully Roll saves that outtake right there.
It won't be in the edit.
It won't be in the edit, but we might keep it for something.
The patrons get to see that.
Yeah.
Going part of catering. Monday night live, ad free and early before anybody else gets to watch it. Over on Patreon. I'm over on YouTube and podcast versions at 12 p.m. Central Time. But we're live early and ad free on patreon.com/nerdcore for your wonderful ears and eyes. Brad.
Yes, Rob.
Before we go into today's review, as we conclude Orson Welles Month, how are you doing today?
I just want to say, I feel like Stacy keeps paying that $5 every time just for the entertainment he gets.
Chances are that
doesn't even make it to the show. It's before and after the show. Or before.
Chances are that Stacy still watches the videos when they upload it. He just wants to see whatever the fuck happens when we're not here.
They're doing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, we thank Stacy for being here live chat. He's always here with us. He's a wonderful patron, and he's always in our Patreon chats. He's always on the live show chats. He's always everywhere. So we thank him so much for that. So just really wonderful having him around. So but Brad, how are you doing, man? How's the weekend? How's everything?
Good long weekend. Good holiday. I didn't do shit. I did nothing but play Grand Theft Auto Online. And watch this movie, of course. That's what I did. I also went to my nephew's birthday party, and from all the screaming and crying children, my wife got to see me disassociate. So that's fun.
Yeah, Brad, I imagined that would probably be the case.
Yeah, I was staring at a wall apparently for a little too long, and she asked me if I was okay.
Right. Yeah,
I was in a better place.
Yeah. My mind took me to a way better place than here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Should've been like, yeah. So I don't have to hear children in this place, and I don't, Oh my God, Brad. That's great to hear, Brad. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad I figured that you I figured that you would were kind of busy, or you were just not doing much, because I didn't hear anything about put the schedule up until I was like, oh fuck, I think I'm doing this too late. So I put it up around 6, and Brad's like, hey, this Georgie guy. I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's actually watching it right now.
Fuck this Georgie guy.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into.
Yeah. It was just I was like, oh man, I wonder if Brad's gonna have enough time to watch the movie. And lo and behold, yeah, you did.
I was sitting there, you put up the schedule, and I looked at it, I'm like, I can watch that. I looked at it too, I'm like, oh, that's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Yeah. Thankfully, right? Nothing. Actually, now we're in 28 on my end.
Yeah. So I mean, I rounded. What do you want?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think it would have been shorter too, but the studio apparently put, at least from Roger Ebert's site, that apparently the last 2 scenes they put in or had filmed.
Yeah. I figured, Brad, because
it just seemed way off kilter there at the end. Just for it to be all neat and shit for an Orson Welles picture.
Well, I felt like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and just we'll go ahead and get into it when we start the review, right? But I just felt like there was a point where I felt like the movie ended,
Uh huh.
and
Yeah.
then there were just two scenes. I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I
I
thought we were done.
yeah. We'll discuss that more.
Yeah, yeah. Stacy says, you must have got the Snyder cut. Notion exaggerated slow motion? No, no slow
No,
motion in this one.
no, I didn't notice that. Maybe the slow tumble into the snow. Maybe that.
Yeah, yeah. But Brad, I what's it called? Friday we did our wonderful X-Men 97 review, which thank you all so much for the viewership on that. That was great. Let's go. We had double digits on that. Sadly, guys, our streak kind of came to an end. Um, our what's it called? A review of 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days is at like around 6 views. So
If that
if
was
you
eight,
want, it's like around there.
let's get up there.
Yeah. So guys, you guys still got time. Like, do it. Like, please, what's it called? Get us to like some double digits on that would be great. Um, but what's it called? We did that on Friday. We did Extra 97 on Friday. Saturday, I what's it called? I shot for my cousin for her wedding. What's it called? For her engagement shoot for her wedding. Um, and then I what's it called? What did I? Oh, we went out to eat to with my grandma for her birthday, and we went to what's it called? To like a Yemeni um restaurant. Really good food.
Hmm.
Really good food. And then Sunday, my cousin, my uncle's wife's daughter graduated,
Oh,
so
very nice.
they had a little party for her, and we had a lot of tacos there. They're small little tacos, Brad, like this small.
But I had 20 of them.
No, I ate 15 of them. But, yeah,
So
15 of them.
they were like Jack in the Box size tacos.
Yeah, little mini tacos, and like I had 15 of them hoes, bro. Like with what's it called, beans as well, and yeah,
Yeah.
they were good. It was a lot of fun, but it was absolutely unbearably humid, and the mosquitoes were fucking terrible
Ay.
yesterday.
Oh, it's blazingly hot over here right now.
Yeah, it's
We've got
getting
we've got red
bad,
we've
Brad.
got red flag warnings everywhere.
Yeah, I'm waking up every day with heat advisory warning until 10 p.m.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Wind and heat over here. So
Yeah. But other than that, not much else. I didn't really watch anything until today. It's kind of been just chilling here. But I'm gonna go see Furiosa on Thursday, Brad. So yeah, like that's all I got planned right now. But yeah, man. Lots of what's it called? Just a lots of celebrating and a lot of fun. And I watched a little bit of matches from Double or Nothing today. So yeah.
MJF back. Did you
Yep.
see
Yep.
in the
MJF
in
is
the
back.
in the Triple H leather blue jean jacket?
Yeah. Yeah. But
I
Brad,
don't care about that. I'm waiting for Bo Dallas. Where the fuck is Bo
I
Dallas?
want fucking Bo to come out. Yeah.
I want Uncle Howdy and his crew.
I want at this point for something to happen with that. I
Yeah.
want something to happen.
I
I'm
want like
getting,
Bobby Lashley to be eaten by the ring or something.
yeah. But it's just at this point it just feels like when the fuck is this happening? Like
Yeah, like it just continues on and on and on. It's like we get it. Like we know it's gonna
Yeah.
be Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy's gonna have this whole crew of fucking weirdos. Like we know in the same sense Bray did. So just
yeah.
bring on the noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Brad, yeah, today we're going to be concluding our review or what's it called our Orson Welles month today. Sorry guys. We're going to be concluding our Orson Welles month, and of course, it's going to be we're going to be saying goodbye to Daddy Orson today. But it's been a great month, Brad. Lots
It's
of
been really
fun.
good. I've been actually thrilled with the movie so far. Like I know we know Orson and we know Orson can do good work, but I've never seen like a bunch of films from him. Like we had 1984 Transformers and he was the best thing of that. And then, we had another one of his which was good. But to get for a whole month, I've been pleasantly surprised. And really I have really enjoyed this month.
Yeah, been enjoying this month. Next month's gonna be great, and now we even have already confirmed our July month, so it's gonna be freaking awesome, man. I think I think this summer, Brad, is going to be great for us here at the Nerd Core. I think we're going to have a lot of cool stuff to discuss, man. I'm really excited, man. I'm so excited.
We got four shows dropping in what, July,
In June-ish to
June,
July,
July.
August, Rings of Power comes back, and then there's just so much going on. I think we have a great amount of what's it called stuff coming up that I'm just so excited, man.
You know the sadness though is when we end up watching all these shows, it'll be another 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, sadly, right, Brad?
That's how it goes.
Yeah, especially the ones that like the Rings of Power and the and the House of the Dragons
Yeah,
ones.
I feel like I need to rewatch House of Dragon
Yeah.
again.
But at least next year we have what's it called Last of Us season 2.
Hey, that's true.
So not a bad not a bad what's it called
No,
choice
not a
at all,
bad
right?
time. No.
Yeah. Well, Brad, I think we should just get into it. Brad, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's finish Orson Welles Month.
All right, man. Go ahead and introduce to us the Magnificent Ambersons. Today's episode of the Nerd Court is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off your first order with code TheNerdCore. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video.
Okay, roll. So, coming from Wikipedia, The Magnificent Ambersons is a 1942 American period drama written, produced, and directed by Orson Welles. Welles adapted Booth Tarkington's Pulitzer Prize-winning 1918 novel about the declining fortunes of a wealthy Midwestern family and the social changes brought by the automobile age. The film stars Joseph Cotten, Dolores Costello, Ann Baxter, Tim Holt, Agnes Moorehead, and Ray Collins, with Welles providing the narration. Welles lost control of the editing of The Magnificent Ambersons to RKO, and the final version released to audiences differed significantly from his rough cut of the film. More than an hour of footage was cut by the studio, which also shot and substituted a happier ending. Although Welles' extensive notes for how he wished the film to be cut have survived, the excised footage was destroyed. Composer Bernard Herrmann insisted his credit be removed when, like the film itself, his score was heavily edited by the studio. Even in the released version, Magnificent Ambersons is often regarded as among the greatest films of all time, a distinction it shares with Welles' first film, Citizen Kane. The film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and it was added to the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress in 1991. And, of course, directed, screenplay, Orson Welles, produced by Orson Welles, cinematography, Stanley Cortez, edited by Robert Wise, music by, there's no credit in the film, but Bernard Herrmann was the one who composed it. And a budget of $1.1 million, box office $1 million in U.S. rentals, and 210,966 emissions in France in 1946. And running time, we've got 3 versions. We got an 88-minute, we got a 148-minute for the original, and we got a 131-minute for the preview.
All right, Brad. That sounds good, man. So Brad, we've had a lot of great films
Mm-hmm.
this month, and we just what's it called watched Touch of Evil, right? And we did that, and I kind of had been around this idea that like, hey man, I've been a big fan of what I've been seeing from late Orson, and I just was what's it called just not really reacting the same to like early Orson, even though I love The Lady from Shanghai,
Mm-hmm.
and but I thought like in comparison to some of these other films, it wasn't the same. So I think I'm just in the same wheel park like here, Brad, where it's like I like this movie, but it just does not shape up to what we've been seeing from like these other movies I've been watching this month. And I don't know, man. I was just kind of like, it's good and it's got a really interesting like, feeling to it,
Hmm.
but I don't really like see. I'm not amazed like I was last week with Touch of Evil or like Lady from Shanghai or shit, man. I'll even say it. Like I think I like what's it called, Chimes at Midnight more than this one. Um, but Brad, what are your initial thoughts?
I guess to defend this movie, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that I don't. The movies you mentioned are above this one. I don't disagree with that, but this is also not a noir. This is
No,
a very different movie from what I would say. Like you show us a noir, and we're like, oh yeah, that's my bread and butter right there. This is not a noir. This is not a Shakespearean drama comedy. This is very much like a taste of life kind of film that you know it has a character, it has a main character in it who I gotta see. I think I find I hate more or end up hating more in this movie than I did for those in Amoris Paros. And I really hated those
no,
characters.
he was a piece of work. He was a
This
piece of work.
from the very beginning. This
Yeah,
is probably one of the worst
not a big fan of Georgie.
no, Georgie is probably one of the worst characters. I'm not saying he's a badly written character. I'm just saying he's a horrible person, individual of a character to be put on the screen. And it's well played by Tim Holt. I have to admit that. Um,
Fantastically performed by him.
yeah,
I
and
think you
then
like. Well, it's because Georgie's fucking slimy, Brad.
yeah,
I
well,
don't trust
well,
this guy for one bit.
no, and also he doesn't want to work. He just wants to live off his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
He's entitled in a way, and he thinks the money's never going to run out. And he thinks everyone should bow to him because he has
Yeah.
the Amberson name. So
Yeah.
it's very much like a Draco Malfoy. Yes, I'm bringing Harry Potter into this. It's very much like a Draco Malfoy sense you get, and it's just like, yeah, we're meant to hate him very much, and I think Orson Welles knew that. And I do say though, I think this movie, although I don't think it stands up to all the rest we've seen, it has some of the
Yeah.
best dialogue and two of the best characters in Eugene Morgan and then Aunt Fanny.
Yeah.
I think the actor and actress in this, the way they portray that, might be some of the best portrayal on screen. And Eugene Morgan's dialogue when he's talking about how he thinks the automobile, it may not be, it is going to change things. Maybe not for the better, maybe not,
Well,
how we perceive it, but that dialogue he did right there might be some of the best written
yeah.
we've listened to.
When I think about it now, I'm looking at like the rise of Tesla and how electric vehicles have become a big thing now, and it's like we're kind of what's it called, going towards this future where electric vehicles are a thing, or even how like younger generations are becoming more like they want more public transportation, like they
Yeah,
want more
they don't want to
trains,
drive.
they want more bus, like we don't want to drive anymore. We
No.
don't. We want more self-driving cars, or we want electric cars.
You want to be doing other stuff than just driving for hours.
Yeah.
That is what it's coming to. And the old we're coming up. It's funny. This was made in 1942, and we're coming up to the same resistance from the older generation, going, cars will never be gone, gasoline engines will never be gone, and it's happening.
It's happening before our very eyes.
It's happening. I mean, I will tell you. I think in 2 generations from me, in 2 or 3, the automobile will be driving itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's already happening right now, Brad. It's
Yeah.
just more so like it's still kind of very like prototype-ish, where people are still having kind of a lot of trouble with it when it comes to like Teslas, but like it's becoming like an actual like feasible option now, where it's
Well,
like
and it's going to change just like the automobile changed the characteristics of cities and towns because people are know about the stoops and the brownstones in New York. Do you know why they had stoops and brownstones?
what?
Horseshit. Horseshit. The streets were so littered with horseshit, they built them higher so people would be able to get into their carriages and stuff without stepping in horseshit. And that's just one of those things.
It's pretty indicative of the era we're talking about, huh?
Yeah, gasoline cars. The streets will change when it becomes, autonomous vehicles. The infrastructure
Yeah.
will change. Things will change. I won't be here to see it probably.
No.
Raul probably won't. but in the future everything will change and people will be saying like they are now, like, oh, the electric car will never take. It's already taking.
Oh yeah, like our
It'll just
parents.
get better.
Yeah, our
If we
parents'
don't.
generation probably were like, I don't really see what's it called. What's it called?
Well, and our parents'
Electric
generation,
vehicles.
they saw like the hydrogen car come and go, like iterations. Like what you saw is his first kind of, his first steam powered vehicle into what he had now is a gasoline powered vehicle in this movie. You see that how it started, and it's continuing going to go that way.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, Brad. Even though what's it called? Couldn't what's it called? Plays him pretty well. I was more impressed with the women in the film.
Mm.
I think the actresses bring it even more
Yeah,
than him.
I specifically just pulled Aunt Fanny there just because she
Yeah.
had some of the best dialogue in this film. Like I like Lucy Morgan and Baxter's Lucy Morgan,
Oh,
but
shoot.
Aunt Fanny just had like some of the best dialogue through the film, and the
Yeah.
way her emotion goes onto the screen.
Yeah.
I mean that really did it for me. So Agnes Moorehead played that character great.
Yeah. But in like one of those last scenes, Brad, where she's like, where what's it called? Lucy. It's just, and I think it's just beautifully written and beautifully acted. Um, about the what's it called, the American Indian guy, the Indian
Hmm.
guy, and the Native American,
And she's
and
just
like
making shit up.
she's making shit up. Making shit up. It's like she's it's so fun. It's like they have like these actresses have so much personality and a lot of great like ability
Yeah,
here, and it really shows off the screen. So I was really impressed with the women in the film more
indeed.
so than like even though like he plays what's it called Georgie really well.
Tim Holt is such an asshole for playing
Yeah.
that character.
Well, yeah. He's really
Also,
well.
um, Ann Baxter. A little background on Ann Baxter. She was the granddaughter of Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, so the way to get into Hollywood, Tim Holt was the child of another famous actor. So to get into Hollywood, know someone.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
born into it, I guess.
Yeah.
But we haven't brought up the mother yet, so we haven't brought
Oh,
up Isabel.
and I loved her. I loved her final her last scene at the end.
Yeah.
Boom. Incredible.
Well, and just how you felt for her,
Yeah.
because she was, she made a decision back in her childhood, a one-off because she was mad, and then she lived to regret that. And then when she's finding that again, her own blood gets in between her,
Yeah.
and she has to make the decision. Do I do what I want, or do I do what's best for my child? Because this is obviously, you know, making him feel anxiety and all this. Even
Yeah.
though Georgie's a shit, and she should have gone, with Eugene, because Eugene had, all he had was love for her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought she was incredible at the end. That her last scene, beautifully performed. I think truly just it was really it was really touching, and I thought she did a great job. Um, I really liked the lighting of this film, like the outdoor
Did you
scenes.
see the frosted around the edges on some of the scenes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah,
I was really impressed with
I
the
don't know if that
outdoor.
was the film stock, or if he
Yeah,
actually meant to do that, but it
I think
turned
it's a
out really
film
kind of
stock,
cool.
Brad.
It
I
looked
think it's
cool.
probably a film stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was really impressed with like some of the outdoor scenes. I think he lit that pretty well. But the interior is just great lighting. I think that he just has a really good picture in this. Of course, it's around the time he's already made Citizen Kane, which by any means, like I haven't never seen Citizen Kane, but I definitely seen what it looks like, and I can tell you that it's pretty damn
Yeah.
well lit and pretty damn well framed. Um,
I
but
think coming off that, Orson Welles could have asked for the moon, and they would have given it to him.
100%, RKO was his. What's it called? Was his to get whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
But
Except
but
editing rights.
like I said, I like this movie. I don't love it. I just throughout this film, didn't have the same feeling I've had from the other ones.
The
And
ending doesn't help that.
yeah, that's the thing
And
is,
now that I know,
I think you could have ended it right there with Lucy's mom. Well, I mean, with Lucy's mom, with the mom.
I think honestly, I think you could have ended it um at Tim Holt, at Georgie when he's praying and they go and he got his comeuppance. I think you could have ended it there. I don't think there was any need to continue on from that point where, you know, you're left with this broken man who basically did it to himself and his family. Because
Yeah,
in real life you don't get those happy endings. You get
yeah,
that.
yeah. But like I said, man, I just I think that just there's a point in the movie where I felt, and I think maybe yours is the more feasible option. I don't know. To me, I felt like that just that end right there with the mom in that amazing scene. I think you
Yeah.
can end it there. But that was my biggest gripe was like this feels like we're adding something here that doesn't need to be added. Like we already have a point in here where it feels like this is the end of the film and
Yeah.
it's good to cap it off here. And the studio was like, no, we got to put these two more scenes in
Now
there.
we got to make it happier and make sure everybody knows that, you know, even though Georgie's a terrible human being, he still wins at life
And it's like,
because he's rich and he knows rich people.
and I'm gonna guess, Brad, a big part of that was like, well, we're kind of in a war right now. The United States just went into war. What's it called? We
Yeah,
should
it's the
probably
40s. It's
we
the
should have
40s
like
and
a
50s.
yeah,
Everyone has that, you know, the faux smile on and everything's grand and fine and
yeah,
dandy.
yeah. So they're probably like, we need to have a happy ending in the movie, and
Yeah.
it's like Orson
And
didn't write it like that though.
no, well, what, you know, and what they probably wanted was a family movie. And this goddamn Orson Welles, you're not necessarily going to get a family movie,
Yeah,
unless you take away his editing rights and do it yourself.
yeah,
Which, to me, the last scenes, with the hospital and him getting injured, all unnecessary.
yeah.
Um, I really think you could have ended it and Georgie got his comeuppance.
Yeah. And like I don't know, and now this being like the final film and me having this, like having seen what came before and we've been watching what we did this month, to me I really have came to the conclusion that to me, I think Orson is the best where he has control over what he's trying to create, and I think where he's being listened to and he's being given, the chance to make what exactly his vision is and not having that be what's it called messed with. And it's a tale as old as time, Brad. It happens in the 40s and it still happens today in the 2020s.
Oh yeah, I mean and it's happened to every director.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure other than a select few. I mean, they did it to Kurosawa. I
yeah,
mean, and if they can do it to the Emperor, they can do it to anyone.
yeah. So it's like, at this point it's I think that was just my conclusion. It's like with these films I've watched, and like Touch of People being the biggest example, where it's like I watched the version that Orson wants with the edits that Orson wants, and it feels like this is the more complete film. This is what it feels like what he wants, and this is what feels really good because it's a damn good movie.
Although what's funny is the edited version is really good, fucking too.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know. And that I think Touch of Evil is just a fantastic movie through
yeah,
and through.
yeah. But Brad, what's your final verdict on the Magnificent Ambersons?
I don't think I'm gonna go lower than an 8 for this movie because it's a good movie, and I really, I really enjoyed parts of it. I think some of the dialogue is probably some of the best we've seen, but as a complete total film, the ones we've watched previously are just better. So I think that I'll give it an 8.
I'm giving it the same as I gave Chimes at Midnight. I'm just going 7.5. I think Chimes at Midnight is better overall, but I have the same feelings towards it. It's just I don't think I'm as impressed with it as I am with the other two films I've seen from him. But
I would just like Chimes at Midnight because it's a drunk fat Orson Welles, which I could watch all the time.
yeah, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But it's still a damn good movie. I think it's well made, and I think that Orson's even on his worst time, even his worst days. I think that Orson's still a fucking great director.
Yep.
His horseless carriage won't be a big thing until like a metallic shoebox. Oh my god. Um, even Raul had studio notes for Before I Leave. More product placement, less plot. Hence the final scene in a brand new Tesla Model E. That's right, Stacey.
Which he kept from the studio.
Yeah, I kept it from the studio, man. But Nonetheless, that concludes our review of the Magnificent Ambersons, and it concludes our Orson Welles month here on the Nerdcore podcast. Of course, we thank you all so much for joining us. As always, keep up to date with us on the nerdcore.com, Twitter at the nerdcore underscore, Instagram and threads at the nerdcore, patreon.com/the nerdcore. For the $1 tier, you get this episode live, ad free, and early before anybody else gets to watch it. And of course, go ahead and check out our Discord link because you can talk to us about movies and all that wonderful stuff in there. So join our Discord link. It is in the description below. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single review on this channel. And of course, if you're listening to this on the audio side of things, make sure that you leave a 5-star review on the podcast app and you follow us on that app as well because it is great and it helps us reach more ears and eyes. Of course, Brad, we will be concluding Orson Welles Month on Patreon at the $5 tier on the mini pod as we talk about his film The Trial. And we're gonna go ahead and discuss that on now it's gonna be on Friday because Thursday I'm watching Furiosa. So Friday will actually be when we watch the trial, when we discuss the trial. But Wednesday at the $5 tier as well, we have our True Detective Season 1, Episode 8. We're going to conclude that, and we're going to go ahead and look forward to what our next show will be, which we will announce on the Patreon. So, without further ado, man, we want to thank our patrons. They make it possible, and we love them so much. Of course, it's not none of this happens without them. So, we thank you guys so much. Brad, can you tell them about our wonderful producer, Shane?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/xsrk or on Twitter at thriftedil or go buy something from the Suppy God at prisoncityvintage.com.
Damn straight, Brad. And for now, that's all we've got, guys. We have a lot of cool stuff happening next month. We're going to be doing a Yorgos Lanthimos month as we celebrate the release of his next film, Kinds of Kindness, and featuring, of course, the now Cannes Best Actor winner, Jesse Plemons, who won for that performance. So, I'm sure that it's not going to be the last award he wins.
Well deserved.
Man's an incredible actor, Brad. Well deserved. So, we will look forward to that next month. But for now, that's all we got for this for today, and that's all we have for the main show for this week. And we will see you guys on Patreon on Wednesday and on Friday. But for now, Brad, let's go ahead and get him out of here.
All right, Roll. They've been hosts as always. Thank you to Stacy for joining us in chat today. Thank you to all those who join us in future chats. Thank you to our listeners out there, all our patron supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, don't let your kids get whatever they want.
No.
Young Yoda out.